Alright, we're going to try this again. The audio cut out at this point in the video last time, so I'm going to pick up with where I left off today to explain net ionic equations. Now, where the audio cut off, we had already finished the molecular equation, so now the next step is going to be to convert the molecular equation into the net ionic. The first step to do that is to do what's called the complete ionic equation. In the complete ionic equation, anything that is labeled aqueous, these are all ionic compounds, so if they're aqueous, they don't only dissolve in water, they dissociate. So next step, and this is why we learned the first part of this lecture, we must dissociate everything into its ions correctly, keeping the right amount of charge and right amount of number of each of them. So there's one lead ion that will be produced for every lead nitrate. The charge on the nitrate we know is -1, and there's two of them, so that tells me that the charge on the lead must be +2. And therefore, that 2 now becomes a coefficient. When lead-2 nitrate dissociates, we get a single lead ion of +2 charge and 2 nitrate ions of a -1 charge. That adds up to a neutral lead nitrate. Okay? The next one is sodium chloride. Now there's a coefficient in front, so we have to distribute that 2 just like we would do in algebra class. So since there's 2 sodium chlorides, there will be 2 sodium ions and 2 chloride ions that would dissociate from it. Okay? The lead chloride solid, because it's a solid, it's an insoluble solid, we do not dissociate it. Anything labeled with a solid, liquid, or gas in these next set of equations, we will leave as a solid state material. We do not dissociate it because it's insoluble. The sodium nitrate will again dissociate into the ions. And right there is the complete ionic equation, which shows all of the substance in their form, how they would exist in the solution before and after the reaction. Okay. Now, what we'll notice in this reaction, to become the net ionic equation, is we must get rid of any substances that have done nothing chemically in the reaction. If it's the same way it looks on the left and right side of the arrow, it is now called a spectator ion. And again, a spectator ion is an ion that has not chemically changed at all. You'll notice that the sodium, there's 2 sodium ions on the right and 2 sodium ions on the left. They're both +1. Nothing has changed with them. It's 2Na +1 on the left, 2Na +1 on the right. That is going to be an example of a spectator ion. So to get this into the net ionic equation, we're going to get rid of those ions, and they're no longer going to be part of the net equation because they're in the solution, but they're spectating. They're not taking part in any chemical reaction. The same thing can be said about the nitrates. There's 2 nitrates on each side. Chemically, they are exactly the same, and that's it. The lead and chloride will not be a spectator ion because they bond together, forming an insoluble precipitate, which will precipitate out of the bottom of the test beaker, wherever the container is that we're mixing them. So what we're left with now is the net ionic equation. Where we get a lead ion, 2 chloride ions, and a lead-2 chloride solid. Now, when we are looking at an overall net ionic equation being balanced, when we used to balance reactions, we only thought about one issue, and that was, do we have the same number of atoms balanced? So if I look on this reaction, there's a lead and a lead. There's 1 lead on each side, and there's 2 chlorines on each side. So this reaction is balanced according to atoms. But now, because we have ions, there's a second thing we have to make sure that is balanced as well, and that is charge. Is the reaction balanced in charge? Well, on the left side of my reaction, the reactants, there is a +2 and there are 2 -1s. That adds up to a total of 0. The product has no charges. It is a ionic compound that is neutral because there's no charge on it, and therefore it's 0. So the reaction is now balanced in both charge and atoms, in the fact that the sum of the charge on the left must equal the sum of the charge on the right. So this reaction is balanced in both atoms and charge, and this is the overall net ionic equation. If they were to ask you, are there any spectator ions in this reaction? you would answer yes. The spectator ions would be the sodium ions and the nitrate ions. They're in the solution. They're still in the solution. If we were to filter the solution, they would pass through the filter paper with the solution because they're too small to be caught by filter paper, but those are called spectator ions. Okay? So there's the net ionic equation, the spectator ions, and the molecular equation all becomes a net ionic equation. So we're going to keep on doing this for 3 more examples. The next example is iron chloride. And again, these are both solutions, so right away I'm going to put down aqueous. Okay. Again, it's a double replacement reaction. Because it's double replacement, the charge on the left side is equal to the right side. Now, the sodium is +1. The hydroxide, OH, is -1. Chlorine is -1. All the halogens have a -1 charge, but there's 2 of them. So that tells me that this is a +2 iron. So when they rearrange, again, double replacements, the charges stay the same. So it's going to be iron 2 hydroxide. And because the iron is +2 and the hydroxide is -1, we have to cross drop. And we're going to get FeOH2. Again, hydroxide requires parentheses. And sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is normal table salt. And again, all ions are monatomic to begin with. Do we need to cross drop charges? We don't, because the sodium is +1 and the chloride is -1. So good old sodium chloride is NaCl. We know table salt is soluble in water, so it's going to be labeled aqueous. Now we look up hydroxide on that table. Is iron 2 hydroxide soluble or insoluble? If you read it correctly, it should have been identified as insoluble. Okay, last thing, are we balanced? Okay, so we have 2 chlorines on the left, only 1 on the right, so we need a 2 there. 2 sodiums on the right, 2 on the left. Now we've got the balanced sodiums. 2 hydroxides, there's 2 hydroxides with the OH2, and 1 on each side. Now we are balanced. So there is the balanced molecular equation with all the proper states of matter. All right, now if you want to pause it and try to do the complete ionic equation followed by the net, please go ahead and do that. All right, if you're back with me, the iron should dissociate into iron at +2, 2 chloride -1. Okay. 2 sodium ions we are going to distribute. So there's going to be 2 sodium ions and 2 hydroxide ions. Again, that 2 applies to both the positive and negative ions. The solid we leave together. And the sodium chloride will dissociate because it is, again, aqueous, it's soluble. All right, so are there any spectator ions? Are there any ions that are the same on both sides of the arrow? And again, you should have answered yes. There's 2 sodium ions on both sides, and there's 2 chloride ions on both sides. So now the spectator ions for this reaction would be sodium and chloride. All right, I'm going to turn the page. Your example might be still on the bottom here, but I need to turn to get to the net ionic equation. All right, so for the net ionic equation, what is left is going to be iron +2, 2 hydroxide ions, -1 each, producing FeOH2 solid. Okay, we have 2 irons. We have an iron on both sides, 1 of each. We have 2 oxygens and 2 hydrogens on each side, or 2 hydroxides on each side. And lastly, is the charge balanced? +2 and -1, 2 of them. That adds up to 0. There's no charge on the right, so again, the charge is balanced. And there is the net ionic equation for the iron and hydroxide forming iron 2 hydroxide. Okay, so that's how we do precipitation reactions. Now there's a couple other examples I want to go over in different situations to look at that I just want you to be exposed to. Okay, the first one is we're looking now, this is not a double replacement reaction, but this is a single replacement reaction. Zinc metal, so that's solid state zinc, is going to be placed into a solution of copper 2 nitrate. Now they tell me it's a solution, so immediately I know to label that as aqueous. All right, is this a double replacement reaction? No, it's not. This is a single replacement reaction. So in a single replacement reaction, the metal replaces the metal. In this case, we're going to get zinc nitrate. And zinc does have a charge of +2, just like copper. So again, it's this same, we need 2 nitrates to balance. And if I look up nitrates, what does it say about this ionic compound? All nitrates are soluble. So whenever you have a nitrate, it's always going to be aqueous. Plus copper. Now, the copper does not kick out as copper ions, it kicks out as copper solid. If you remember this, we actually did this lab way back in November or early December, and what would happen is that solid piece of zinc would go into the copper nitrate solution, and immediately it would start to grow hair or fur on it that actually was metal that was being deposited on the surface of it. The copper that was in the solution was coming back out of the solution at the surface of the zinc and plating it with the metal of copper. And copper is actually red in color, if you remember the copper again lab. So the grayish solid would actually form a coating of red copper solid on the outside of it. And the copper metal was now going into the solution. The copper ions were coming out of the solution. So there's an exchange of copper and zinc. The reaction is balanced. What state is the copper? Again, it's a solid. It's not an ion. And there's the overall molecular equation. To make the complete ionic, we're going to dissociate. Now again, since zinc is a solid, we leave it alone. We do nothing to it. Only the aqueous substances will we dissociate. Now, a couple mistakes students make. Students want to cross off the copper, but we can't. They are not chemically the same. Copper ions are bluish color in water. It's a blue ion in water, and then it comes out as a red-brown solid. Okay, so solid state copper is different than ion copper. Same thing for the zinc. They're two totally different species. The ion state is different than its solid state material. But there still is a spectator ion. The spectator ion for this reaction is nitrate. It is exactly the same on both sides of the reaction. All right, so what we're left with is zinc solid plus copper ions produces zinc ions and copper. Now, why did I want to show you this net ionic equation? Because too often now students will think that whenever we have the final reaction is done, that the charges have to be 0 on both sides. That's not the case. On the left side here, we have 0 and we have +2. So the total charge on the left side of the reaction is +2. On the right side, it's +2 and it's 0. It too is +2. So again, we are equal. There's a copper atom on each side and there's a zinc atom on each side. The number of zincs and coppers are the same. The atoms are the same. The law of conservation of mass has been met. But now also the charge is the same. So it doesn't have to be 0 on both sides. It has to be equal to both sides. So whatever the charge is on the left, it has to be on the right to be a balanced net ionic equation. Okay? Now, your homework will not involve single replacement reactions. It will only involve the first 2 reactions that we already worked on. But I just want to show this to you as to something that's possible, as just so you don't get the misconception that it always adds up to 0. All right, one last one I want to go over. Here's another situation I want to just show you. Potassium chloride is mixed with a solution of ammonium nitrate. Now, what's nice about this reaction is that all of the ions, if you look at the ion table, they're all +1 and -1. So they rearrange, and now we're going to get potassium nitrate, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and ammonium chloride. All right, looking up the solubility table. All nitrates are soluble, aqueous. Chlorides. Ammonium chloride, almost all chlorides are soluble. Ammonium is not an insoluble ion, so it is also soluble. And there's the balanced molecular equation. Okay, let's go to the complete ionic equation. Well, what's weird about this one is that everything dissociates. We get 1 ion of each on each side. Okay, what cancels out of this reaction? Potassium, same on both sides. Chloride, same on both sides. Ammonium, same on both sides. Nitrates on both sides. What's left? Nothing. This is an example of a double replacement reaction that's a no reaction. If you were to physically mix these two solutions together, potassium chloride and ammonium nitrate solutions are clear colorless solutions. If you were to mix them together, you would see no precipitation, no solid to fall out of it, and it would stay a clear colorless solution. It's just a mixture of many more ions, but they stay in ion form. Chemically speaking, nothing has happened to them. They are staying as soluble aqueous ions. So in your homework, be aware that it is possible that you might have a reaction or two that's a no reaction. And this occurs if you read the solubility table correctly. If all of the reactants before the reaction are aqueous and all the products after the reaction are aqueous, everything is a spectator ion and there is no chemical reaction. Sorry again about the mishap with the audio. I'm not sure what happened with it. Hopefully you've listened in now and you're ready to go to start the homework. Thanks again for listening. My apologies. Hopefully this won't happen again. Have a great night.